Welcome to Raregivers 2023. My name is Crystal O'Loughlin, and I'm so excited to get into our conversation today. Today, we're going to be talking about empathy math, and we'll be featuring a conversation at the end of our session with my guest, Aaron Horowitz, who is the maker and the genius behind the Purble. So I'll go ahead and jump in and give you some overviews of what we're covering during our annual Give Month. Raregivers is a global nonprofit network. We provide personal connection and emotional support to patients, parents, and professionals in the rare, chronic, and complex disease communities. So these are highly medicalized lives, and that can be an incredibly isolating and overwhelming feeling. And so we are here to bring daily compassion and relief. It's our goal to support 3.5 million Raregivers by 2026, which is why mobile devices and all of our digital technologies are so important. And therefore, our relationship with Microsoft is so important because Microsoft employee volunteers help us establish and expand our network. You'll see here the donation guide that gives you a sense of what your donations will go towards. And I will just say that at angelaidcares.org, we have a whole festival of self-care tips, meditations, fitness experiences, author talks. We're featuring our mental health and wellness practitioners and various different partners, such as Aaron, that we will be hearing from later today. If you are donating from Microsoft, please consider donating through Benevity. And we've provided the QR code here, and also you can go to aka.ms/angelaid. If you are outside of Microsoft, then we invite you to donate through our /give website. And really what we're looking to do with your dollars and your donations is to support a global community. And this is a community that you may or may not have heard of. It's called the Rare Disease Community. And in fact, rare is a misnomer. Rare diseases affect more people than cancer and AIDS combined. These are diseases that you may have heard of: MPS disease, Tay-Sachs disease, multiple sclerosis, cystic fibrosis. They're all in a category, approximately 10,000 rare diseases, in a category called rare disease because they have less than 50,000 patients worldwide. So in aggregate, we're looking at 350 million families that are suffering from diseases that have zero cures. And that's where the empathy math comes in. If you have 350 million patients and the caregivers that support them and the professional community that supports them times zero cures, you have in fact what is a global mental health crisis on your hands. All of these individuals, these concentric circles of support, are feeling the chronic stress of daily caregiving and looking for research and science that will eventually find the treatments and cures. But in the process, they're going through deep emotional impact. And what we know about these big global systemic challenges is that they're worthy of our time. And when we align our global mental health crisis with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, we're looking at goal number 3. That every citizen on the planet has the right, the fundamental right, to good health and well-being. And so how do we bring that well-being? Well, Angel Aid and Raregivers, our program, is here to deliver well-being directly into these families. In fact, since 2022, Angel Aid has grown from 500 to over 15,000 families worldwide. We've grown our health and wellness practitioner network and our psychological support services network to 22 practitioners, and we have 21,000 1,000 hours of health and wellness training that we've offered to the community over the past 5 years. We could not do that work without your generous support. So please consider donating to Angel Aid. And what you'll see is that we take those funds and we create tools. And this tool, the Raregivers Emotional Journey Map, is available for free to any community member, anyone that needs a roadmap of what could come in a medicalized life. And what you'll notice here is that the focus is not on treatment management. It's not even on the medical experience. It's on the emotional journey that families go through, which is so often fraught with the ups and downs, the hope and the grief living in the same human heart. So we're so grateful to all of the sponsors and supporters, especially the corporate sponsors that have helped us underwrite the data that goes behind developing these tools, and also the patient advocacy organizations and the umbrella organizations like NORD, the National Organization for Rare Diseases, that is supporting our work day in and day out. So thank you very much to all of those corporate sponsors, and really thank you to the volunteers and the donors who are making this work possible. That's you. And as our give, during Give Month, it's sort of a give to get, right? Our give is to share the tools of wellness that we have been sharing with our community. And so that's what we're offering all month long. And that's what today is all about. If you'd like to know what your donations have done in the last 12 months, let me tell you this. Since Raregivers 2022, we were able to launch our first Spanish-speaking wellness retreat in Mexico City. We were also able to launch our Australia retreat for caregivers in the epilepsy community. And for the first time ever, we launched our men's retreat. We actually flew in men from around the world to work in community at Barrett Family Ranch here in Southern California. So direct donations went to the relief of these individuals. Most of them are leaders of their patient organizations, and they are taking our wellness training back into their community. So later today, we're gonna meet a man named Aaron Horowitz. And Aaron and his team created an incredibly therapeutic tool, a calming tool called the Purble. There are quite a few other tools that they've created as well. But Purble in particular is all about calm. And today we're focusing on empathy, and empathy is empathy for yourself as well. So just a little later in the program, I'm going to give you your 7 hacks to calm and self-care and self-empathy. But then we're going to have a live conversation with Aaron, and we're going to talk about the Purble. We're going to talk about the concepts behind these kinds of interventions and these sort of comfort tools. And then we're going to have a conversation as well about how you might be able to get your hands on these tools. So, so please definitely stay with us throughout the broadcast. So as I said, today is about empathy. It's about connecting at the heart, connecting with your own heart, in fact, and recognizing from the moment we're born, we are eliciting this empathetic response. This baby's cry is to elicit a response. It's to ask for help and support. It triggers our capacity for love, okay? And we do have so much love to give. In fact, we're a community of givers. We give and give and give, and we give so much of ourselves, especially when someone is hurting. So much of ourselves is that empathetic response. That's what makes us human. But we give sometimes too much to our own detriment, to where we're not giving ourselves enough time of each day towards our own self-care. And so what I would offer to you is that you are worthy of that same loving energy that you're giving to everyone. And we're going to start for a moment with the very first hack into your own self-care, and that is breath work. So I'm going to ask you to please empty everything out of your hands, put your feet flat on the ground, You can close your eyes if you'd like, and we're going to take 3 deep breaths together. And a deep breath in, hold it, and release. Breathe all the way into your belly, a deep breath in, hold it, and release. Last one, a deep breath in, and release. You can slowly open your eyes, and you might have a slightly floaty sensation. That's just your parasympathetic nervous system calming down. Breath work is your opportunity to heal yourself at any moment, in any place. You can always mindfully take a few deep breaths, right? Even in transition, as you're transitioning from your work life into your home life, or as you're transitioning from a busy day into sleep, or if you're sitting in the hallway of an emergency room or heading into a meeting, breath work is there to calm down your parasympathetic nervous system and just remind yourself that you're present on the planet, you're here, right? So that's your first hack to self-care. It's all about habits. And we do so much shallow breathing in our life. It's like we forget to be reminded that we can just take a few deep breaths. So here's a couple of other hacks, and they're easy to remember because they're tied to the 5 senses. And most of us have access to all 5 senses, but not everybody. That's okay. Just think for a moment, out of sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell, what are some of your more dominant senses? Okay, so just think about that for a minute. And then what we're going to talk about are ways to hack into those senses to remind you, just take back a few moments. It's the number one thing we hear from caregivers and everybody else on the planet is, I don't have time for self-care. So we're just going to remind you that through these simple little tricks, you can take back just a few moments for yourself. So if you're a very touch-driven person, we recommend things like tapping into comfort, so softness. So one of the clues in my family life is mom's done with work when she changes into her cozy clothes. Okay, so first thing I do when I walk in the door is I get out of whatever I've been wearing all day and I put on just things that are ultra soft. Okay, I'm all about touch as a sensory clue and a reminder. When I put my fuzzy socks on, I put on my fuzzy sweats, or when I sit down on the couch and kind of wrap myself up in a super soft blanket, that I'm transitioning and I'm available now. I'm taking a few moments for myself, literally moments, and I'm transitioning into this new role of being a parent or wife or whatever. Sometimes it's a transition to some of my other responsibilities with National Charity League or the Laguna Beach High School cheerleading squad, whatever it is. If I need that extra little boost, I'll transition into something super soft. So it could be a Green Bay Packers t-shirt. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just as long as it's a clue to you, something super soft, that it's for your own self-care. Okay, so touch. So another hack is around taste. So if you're a very taste-driven person, you know, a lot of us are making warm drinks each day, either coffee in the morning or some sort of warm drink in the morning, or depending on what part of the world you are, you may make a habit out of tea making and enjoying your tea in the afternoon. So think about taking a habit that you're already doing and taking back those moments for you. So in the morning, I actually, this is a recipe for turquoise river tea, but I actually take the turquoise river tea and I sprinkle it into my coffee, and I create goddess coffee in the morning. So it's just the act of listening to the coffee percolate, taking a few deep breaths, and then actually opening up the river tea package and smelling the amazing aromas of the river tea, sprinkling it into my goddess coffee. And then when I actually take that first sip, I've hijacked into multiple senses, haven't I? And I've taken that moment back for myself. That becomes a micro moment of self-care, is this this taste moment of having my goddess coffee. Can be whatever your habit is around taste, but just take it back into a mindfulness moment so that it becomes something in service to you. Okay, so that's another hack. If you're a very sound-driven person, and I just had the pleasure of being able to listen to some amazing jazz music last night, and if you're a sound-driven person, there's so many ways, especially with mobile devices and other things, bringing music and bringing meditations into our daily living to hack into this self-care tool. So think of Headspace, think of Insight Timer. If you're not sure where to start, Padma Gordon is one of our health and wellness practitioners. She is one of the most watched and most listened to on Insight Timer for her meditations. So you can just take a few moments to listen to a meditation or a few minutes of music through one of your apps. Smell is another great hack, and you don't have to buy super fancy essential oils, although we do have them available. But if you take an orange peel and literally peel the orange, twist it, pull down those essential oils and rub those on your wrist, then what you have now, take a big deep breath, is this boost, this energy boost, right? We know that citrus can give you an energy boost in the day. So think about how to hack in to your sense of smell if you're a aroma-driven person. And then sight. Sight can also be such a powerful tool, and symbols are so important. So for us at Angel Aid, we actually ship out through one of our partners our heart-shaped bracelets, and I do have a few other items from Collective Hearts, my heart-shaped necklace. You'll notice that I'm wearing this beautiful embroidered Ukrainian blouse today from my dear friend Irina Rubis. I'm sending her my love. We met in Kiev many years ago. So symbols and sight can be very, very important tools to step into your own health and wellness. And so can color. So I'm going to do one more quick hack for you, and then we're going to go into our conversation with Erin. And this has to do with a meditation as well. Please close your eyes. And I'd like for you to picture a rainbow. And you're walking down a path, and you can hear the crunch of the gravel under your feet. You can run your fingertips across the tops of the grass. You can smell the ocean air or whatever your pathway looks like. And up ahead is a rainbow. And in that rainbow are amazing colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And as you're walking down this path, the rainbow is coming towards you, and one color in particular is shining brighter and brighter than the rest. And it's literally bathing you in its light. This one color is all around you, immersing you in its deep hue. I'd like you to open your eyes and realize that there's meaning behind color, okay? So whether it's the red, vitality and action and physicality of red, or the joyous vibrancy of orange, or the life-giving energy of the sun and the keen intellect, or the wealth and well-being of nature in green, or the stability, the compassion, and the security of blue, or that spiritualism, that grace, that profound insight of indigo, and just that sacred noble energy, that good judgment, that just noble thought of violet. That color can be another hack into your day. So sometimes when I need a boost, I'll pull in some just really bright green eyeliner, or I'll just, go super bright on my clothing that day. Obviously there's ways to build color into your room, into your environments at work and home. So those are the hacks. I mean, this is a formula for self-care, and they're really hard to forget, okay? So breath work, you've got the rainbow at work for you here, and you've got your 5 senses. So those are 7 hacks for you. It's my give to offer, my gift to you. I hope that you're able to take advantage of them. If you'd like to connect and continue learning about Angel Aid and our community, you can go to angelaidcares.org or raregivers.global. And now I'd like to take a moment to introduce somebody that's become quite dear to me. Aaron Horowitz and I met maybe 6-8 months ago. We came into a panel experience very recently on a difficult subject called pediatric medical trauma. And so you have a sense of not only how heartfelt Aaron is, but also what a true genius he is in the area of empathy. So, hello, it's so good to see you, my friend.
Hey, Crystal, thank you so much for having me.
Yes, so if you could take a few minutes and introduce your company, but also your thinking behind why it's so important to develop the amazing tools that I see behind you. So be sure to point them out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I founded Empath Labs about 10 years ago now. And I did it because as a child, I grew up with a medical condition, human growth hormone deficiency. So I gave myself injections all throughout my childhood and became really passionate about how we can help kids and families who are going through these difficult diagnoses at this early age. And as we started doing research, all of our products are developed with kids and with their parents. We noticed something really interesting is that kids with type 1 diabetes, where we started out, were injecting their teddy bears. They were pricking their teddy bears' fingers, and they were using play to act out everything in their lives, right, that was happening to them, to gain this sense of control. And so we started in type 1 diabetes. We created an interactive companion called Rufus the Bear. We went along and we did something similar for kiddos with cancer. We created My Special Aflac Duck for cancer and sickle cell disease, which brought us all the way to the Purple that you introduced first, which is a tool that helps people find calm. So for us, it is immensely important for children to better understand what they're going through medically. And what these tools do is they make children become a caregiver. And in doing so, children gain empathy for their parents, which can often be a really stressful relationship in the home.
Oh my gosh, this is so amazing. And these therapies, these tools are developed in sort of combination with other programs that are used to help the adult caregivers, the parent caregivers, and then you have the children learning how to be caregivers and empathetic to their parents. Can you talk about those programs and how those programs have been brought to the families?
Absolutely. So maybe the best example would be our program for our duck. So this is for kids with cancer, sickle cell disease, and blood disorders. You can give it medical treatment. You can use some really cool different emoji cards to help communicate your feelings to your caregivers. So you tap these on your duck's chest and they emote with that feeling. And so we designed the product, which of course does all of these things, but we also have a curriculum. So this product is given out at 450 children's hospitals across the US. And we work with child life specialists. It's totally free for families, but Child Life will use it in a hospital setting to explain a procedure. So part of that means giving the care to your duck that you're about to receive. And as we were talking about last week, often the program is even more important than the product, right? Is learning, just using these as frameworks and scaffolds to have better and more detailed conversations about care.
Yes, thank you. Gosh, so we've got the tools, we've got the intended families, and we've got these networks of support. And we were just having this conversation about senses, the five senses. So when you're developing your tools, are you thinking along those lines? What are the things that are going to activate the senses in that human heart?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And I can share some examples. So with our duck, there are so many senses. We actually, one of the key features is guided meditation. And so when you tap this spaceship to the duck's chest, it will start to play different kind of white noise background sounds. So a forest, an ocean, a stream. And this is used to help kids say, oh, what are you hearing? What do you think that environment looks like? Is it like a place you've gone before? So to help engage those senses. There's also some purring and vibration to help engage the sense of touch. With Purble, what we were talking about, this works. It has a tiny little heartbeat that when you pick it up, its heartbeat accelerates. And so when you pet it, its heartbeat slows into a purr. And so this helps you calm Purble and you calm yourself. And so this is all about engaging your senses, from the tactility of the fur to the soft vibrational heartbeat. Everything is about kind of engaging those senses. And we think a lot about, with this product, engaging the sense of sound in intimate space. So you can only really hear it when you hold it to your ear, but you can feel it when you hold it to your chest. And so we're really, we consider it this on-ramp to mindfulness. Nothing replaces the breath work that you spoke about, right? Some of these amazing things, but it helps kids get into that mindset.
Amazing. And here we are in Give Month, and you and I had this conversation, and it just hit me. I had empathy ready to go on our calendar of events, and I said, Aaron, do you think possibly we could do something special for our donor community? So what should we announce together today?
Well, I'll give you the honors, but it's something special involving our friend Purple.
Okay, fantastic. I love it. Thank you. Okay, so I am going to pull this announcement back up and let you know that the generous hearts in Aaron's company, Empath Labs, have agreed to send us 4 Purbles. And so every donation that comes in during the month of October is going to have an opportunity to win a Purble. We have 4 Purbles to give away, and we're able to ship them. There are some restrictions on where we can ship. So we're able to ship 1 for a winner in the United States, in Mexico, Australia, and the European Union. So please do make your donations, and thank you so much, Aaron. It means so much to us to be able to be in collaboration, to be able to, think of ways to bring relief into the community, which is what this broadcast is all about, but also bring relief into the home. So make your donations, and then hopefully you'll get an opportunity to enjoy Aaron's Purple.
Amazing.
All right. Well, any final thoughts for our community, Aaron? Any words of inspiration as we head up back into our work lives and our home lives?
I would just say thank you again for having me, and that I found your 7 tips so amazingly helpful. And something I constantly try to remind myself is it's so hard to build a practice, and it just starts with a small step. It starts with taking a few breaths before a meeting, taking a moment of stillness when you need it. And those small little steps add up to that holistic practice that you shared. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Good, that's good. So here we are, we're bouncing hearts around. We hope that you've felt that in your home and work life, and we will see you again in Raregivers 2023.